right now. And this is the breaking news as we have it. Joseph, what do we know?
And so it's an update on his whereabouts. I mean, in the last little over an hour, we've been asking the questions of where he is. We have an answer for our viewers. Our sources indicate to us that as we speak, Martin Kpebu is being kept at a National Intelligence Bureau installation here in Accra. That is where he's being held currently. We understand that after he had been whisked away from the office of the special prosecutor, he was taken over to be kept at that particular facility. And his lawyers, as expected, are working around the clock to identify him, have the opportunity to go over and have interaction with him with the hope that the bail which he was granted at the office of the special prosecutor, they be allowed to execute that particular bail so that they can take him home. And so if you are just joining us, the update on it is that we know his whereabouts now. Earlier in the last hour and a half, the story that we've been bringing is to the effect that his whereabouts, what is unknown, was unknown. Now we know that he's being kept at a National Intelligence Bureau installation here in Accra. And his lawyers, like I did indicate, are working around the clock to ensure that they execute the bail. The bail he was granted was to the effect that he had to provide landed properties in his name. And beyond that also, one other surety. That was what resulted in his lawyers leaving the office of the special prosecutor to pick up the documents in Martin Kpebu's name at his office, which is a few meters away from the office. After they went over to pick it and they returned to the office of the special prosecutor, they were informed that he had been taken away, leading them to a frantic search right here in the capital, trying to figure out where he is. But the update is that he's being kept at an installation under the control of the National Intelligence Bureau in the space, who contributes to some of these matters. We had heard him not too long ago talk about it.
Absolutely. And let's go on to the telephone now. And Thaddeus Sory is a private legal practitioner, a prominent constitutional lawyer in this country. He's joined us on the telephone. Thaddeus Sory, good evening. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good evening, Alfred.
And well, it's not a good evening, but just for the greeting of it. But I'm sure you've been following what's been happening right now with Martin.
I haven't been following what has been happening. I just saw a flyer.
Yes.
Somewhere on a platform.
The flyer captures exactly what is happening. Martin Kpebu's whereabouts is unknown as we speak. He attended to the invitation of the special prosecutor earlier today. According to his lawyers, after the engagement, he granted an interview, and that was described as an obstruction of the officer of the OSP. And what ensued eventually led to him being arrested and taken to an unknown location as we speak. We are the OSP's office. There's no indication of anybody there. Their gates are closed. But as we speak, the outstanding issue is that Martin Kpebu's whereabouts is unknown. Counsel.
No, but what was the reason for which the OSP invited him?
And the reason for which he was invited was what has been the result of the previous invitation, to assist with investigations into certain statements that were made by him.
So I've always held one view, and I have been consistent on that. Now, there is no reason why a person invited to assist with investigations must be detained. And so my view is that if it is in relation to what we've already read and what we already know, there is no basis whatsoever for the detention of Martin Kpebu. And as if what we are telling you is correct, that we don't even know where he is, I am beginning to think that the OSP is abusing his powers. And if he's listening to us, I think he should release Martin Kpebu immediately.
And you say,
because
yes,
he must do that immediately.
I'm sorry for obstructing, but I just wanted to understand in what aspect of our jurisprudence or our legal architecture gives any credence or legitimizes this whole modus operandi of whisking people away and into an unknown location when even his lawyers do not know where he is.
I don't know if he was whisked away. But I just explained to you that my position is that everybody is entitled to their liberty. If you invite them to interrogate them in connection with an offense, and you cannot finish the interview, there is no reason to detain them just for the fun of detaining them, unless you suspect that if you release them, they are going to interfere with investigation. So no jurisprudence allows the detention of another person only because investigations are going on. If the OSP is going home to sleep, the person that he invites to assist with the investigations must also be allowed to go home to sleep. If he cannot explain why Martin Kpebu has been kept tonight, then there is a problem, and all of us must get involved. I have said this in connection with other people apart from Martin Kpebu. I don't think other detentions, for instance, I won't mention names now. It's okay.
And you say you
so
raised...
Martin Kpebu
yes.
should be released unless the OSP has very valid reasons to detain him until tomorrow morning. He should be released immediately if the OSP is listening to us.
I see. And what valid reason will there be, respectfully, for him?
I don't want to speak for the OSP. I will not speak for the OSP. But I'm saying if the OSP is sleeping in his house tonight, he must give us very cogent reasons why Martin Kpebu is not sleeping in his house tonight.
But looking at...
If he doesn't have it, there will be a problem.
But looking
because
at...
I think people are beginning to abuse power.
You clearly...
Just because Martin Kpebu has said that the OSP is corrupt, it's not a reason to detain him. At all.
This action is a clear abuse of power, you say?
That is my view. But just because he says the OSP is corrupt, it's not a reason to detain Martin Kpebu. And will not be a good reason to detain any other person. And if he's listening to us, there must be a valid reason. If there is no valid reason, I am beginning to think we will have a bigger problem than what happened tonight.
There's been a suggestion that the Attorney General should intervene in this matter at this point.
The Attorney General is not supposed to teach him to tell people not to abuse their power. That's not the Attorney General's responsibility. He has better responsibilities than telling a public official that he should know that the exercise of his power is delineated by the rules on the exercise of discretionary power under the Constitution. That's not the Attorney General is supposed to be advising every public official that when you are exercising your power, be careful of Article 296. That's not the Attorney General's rule. The OSP knows that. And if he has good reasons to detain Martin Kpebu tonight, I don't have a problem. But if the explanation is not good enough, then we have a big problem.
But Counsel, just for those of us who are even learning the law at early stages, can it be the case that Martin Kpebu, wherever he is, without any representation of his counsel, is it lawful?
I am saying prima facie, I don't think it's lawful. And that's the reason I still have made some leeway for the OSP to be able to tell us why he can go home and sleep comfortably and Martin Kpebu is supposed to be in custody, wherever he is. It is not to show him just, it is not just to show him where power lies.
Essentially, this is what you deduce this is all about. To just flex the power of the OSP because Martin Kpebu has been critical of him over the past few months.
I will not jump to that conclusion. But I'm saying I want to wait for the OSP to come out tomorrow morning and tell us that there was justification for that detention. If there's no doubt that if he cannot convince me as an ordinary citizen of the Republic that there was reason for Martin Kpebu to be in custody tonight, and he can go home and sleep comfortably only because he has power, we must fight that power. And I'm saying, I have started saying it already, that I'm not happy with some of the detentions and the bail conditions and all of that. Maybe it is time to speak and to act on it.
And sir, earlier I asked about what the Attorney General can do in this instance, but the context is that to the extent that the Special Prosecutor's Office is an office under the Attorney General's office, or it's a function within the Attorney General's office, to that extent, can the Attorney General, based on that, issue a directive that, you know what?
I agree with you. The Attorney General can, in this basis whatsoever, to detain any Ghanaian only because you are investigating them. There is no basis whatsoever.
But
and I'm saying, if he gets the Attorney General to intervene, it won't feel, it doesn't help the situation. Because the question is whether that detention is candid, it was fair and reasonable. What did Martin Kpebu say that justifies all of this?
Well, even though these are officers of the Special Prosecutor's Office that acted, they wouldn't have done it without the OSP, that's the Special Prosecutor himself, knowing about this, is it not?
Well, the OSP is the OSP. It has a head. He is liable for everything that happens if it emanates from his office. And for me, that's where I leave it. In all candor, I'm telling you that there must be some basis for that detention. If it is not a show of power, then we have a problem. And from now on, we must begin as citizens to interrogate the exercise of that power.
Martin Kpebu has consistently maintained that he is not under investigation. He was only invited by the OSP to assist in the investigation. There was a statement attributed to an officer of the Special Prosecutor that Martin Kpebu was being investigated. And even though Martin Kpebu disputed this particular claim, looking at the turn of events now, would you further ask questions of the office to come clear on exactly what they are asking of Martin Kpebu?
I don't want to speculate about anything. All I'm saying is that Martin Kpebu is entitled to maintain that he is not under investigation. Even if he is there a basis for his detention tonight? And I'm saying, sitting where I sit right now, without any additional information, there is no basis. And if the OSP cannot justify it, and I understand and I can relate to it, this matter wouldn't be left there. The OSP must be told that he cannot abuse his power. Just like every other public official. Because I'm beginning to think that people are abusing their powers. Just because somebody's under investigation, it's no reason to keep them in custody. I don't agree with that.
But the most important call that you're leaving with us tonight is that Martin Kpebu should be released. Wherever he is, the Special Prosecutor should release him.
Instantly. I say instantly. And unless by tomorrow morning, if he's not released, the OSP can give me an explanation that I can relate to. I am telling you that this thing must stop. There have been too many detentions and all of that based on clear exercise of power. And we won't allow people that we give power to. Sovereignty resides in the people of Ghana. We will not allow people that we give power to use that power to oppress us. This is not a jumper or anything. If by tomorrow morning we don't see it, I think we must act instantly and immediately.
You had held even proud to today that the OSP should just leave Martin Kpebu alone. You still stand by that?
I still stand by it. It was Martin Kpebu's view of his performance. Just as every Ghanaian must be able to express their view on the performance of any public official. If they express it, whether you like it or not, I think you should take it in good faith, take it in your stride, and then improve. That's what I think.
Thaddeus, sorry, appreciate your time on this.